Welcome back, Slippy Sliders. I'm Lupinefiasco. This is Daily FaB Gameplay, and today is a mixed bag. First, I have a series of Kano games played against Tegan from Flesh and Bad. Rather than review the games after the fact, Tegan and I will give running commentary during them. You'll hear our thoughts and feelings in real time and learn about the Kano versus Slippy matchup as we do. From there, Aurora of Flesh and Bad will join our impromptu podcast to talk about Burnout in Flesh and Blood. Before we get into it, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's the best free way to support me and to make sure you see every upload from Daily FaB Gameplay. Want to tighten and optimize your gameplay in real life? Use my affiliate link in the video description to buy your very own Codex journal, and be sure to use code LUPINE10, that's LUPINE10, at checkout to receive 10% off your order. Finally, Daily FaB Gameplay is brought to you in part by Hemel from The Bazaar. It's never been more affordable to play in the Flesh and Blood. Players have been buying the cards they need from Hemel for years. I started buying from him in 2023 and have never found a better deal. The Bazaar's prices are the lowest for singles, full sets, and class sets, including new releases. High Seas singles and more are available now and ship both domestically and internationally. Message Hemel on Discord, email, Blue Sky, or Twitter to see what he can do for you. Now, grab your claves, take up your mantle, and let's get into it.
Yeah, so I'm trying out a Kano list that I'm not sure on at this point. But yeah.
I'll send you an invite. Get to it. I don't know how this matchup is supposed to go. Anytime I feel like I'm favored against Kano, they just 50 me on turn 2 through AP3 Spell Void 3, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't usually happen to me. I'm like, great. I'm glad I'm your first then.
Yeah, I played it. I played this matchup at Armory on Wednesday, and I made I did a play that I don't think was good. I went for safe damage where I could have just demanded all the armor, which would have been better. But I was like, oh well, if they have a blue, and then they didn't have a blue, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, we usually don't have the blue. It's something I'm working on is the theory of the matchup where at some point, and I don't know what the point is, I'm supposed to just IP a blue every turn. Like if I can play a 4-card hand and keep a blue, then I'm doing well. Mm-hmm. But I don't know at what life total you need to be.
Is it smart there to just not block that? Because I figured, it's going to get flicked regardless.
I think it's fine. Advice I was given about this matchup is I need to, at some point in the first 2 turns of the game, I need to flick a clave at you. 1, to push damage. 2, because I am trying to open up a slot for Calicera. You only blocking 3 there is right, in my opinion, because you clear them.
Yeah, I was thinking about, I figured, the best course of action is to not bother with the, Wilson, what are you doing? Okay. Sorry, cat's being weird. That is really nice.
Well, Spindle, it's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I'm trying out Spindle again, because I like having things where my opponent needs to commit on my turn.
Yeah. No, and the Spindle's good. You know, Slippy's harder because of AB3, but even against an AB1 or 2 hero, yeah, if you can put them into a position where they let Spindle go for 5. That was, I think, the first lesson that Majin taught me about this matchup is never let Kano Spindle for 5.
Right.
Like, regardless of what you have to give up, don't let him spindle for 5.
Yeah, because that, like, if I opt 5 and I say, okay, cool, top 5, then, well, like, the game's not going great for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I don't care about the work.
Actually, I might have, hold on. I need to think about this. I feel like I'm maybe not supposed to make that play. But that play is so much worse. I guess, no, this play makes sense. This is fine.
Okay, persuasive. Okay.
I get over, I gain life, I get to hold a card. Banjo blue, you show me 3 not blues. It's unfortunate.
Yep, I did that on purpose.
Yeah. Kindle, Floodgate, Sonic Boom. Let's see, you could just give me... You can't really give me 6, or else your hand is... I guess you just throw Kindle and pray.
I'm just going to do this so that you don't get the silver.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. Hey, buddy.
Which I assume your play is just Sonic Boom, Arsenal, Kindle, pass.
Give me 1 second, because
Sure.
my cat has something gross on him. I need to stop him from having something gross on him. I think
Understandable.
it's dirt. Come here, cat. Nope, nope. Alright, so it got off, so okay. That's fine. The joys of pet ownership.
I understand.
Okay. So here, I think I just Sonic Boom.
Yeah. 3 damage. Oh, I didn't realize it was 3. I thought it was 4.
Yeah, it's only 4 if I pump it, but because I was like, well, I'm gonna not have you get a blue out of my hand. Because I was like, what are the odds that you hit a yellow? Not
Yeah.
amazing. I think I'm fine with this.
Red one time. Never lucky.
Yellow.
Red one time.
Thinking here. Okay, so
It's
is it dark?
silly that that works.
Yeah, it's nice. Do that. Do this. Go like that. Go like this. This could be bad.
Alright, graveyard, play the
Need that to be a
Kindle. Yeah.
Oh dear. That's real rough.
That's pretty interesting. Definitely pitching 0. Am I supposed to prevent... Spell Void 3, I'm preventing 9 points of damage. you have a blue and you rip a floodgates, I'm dead anyway, so I guess that doesn't super matter. Yeah, let's prevent 9. See what happens.
Yeah, I will just throw this at you. For 9. I unfortunately did not get a blue. I think that was a fine play on my end. It just unfortunately got a little bit bad variance.
Yeah.
Because the plan was to if I rags there and hit a blue, I can. So I'm just gonna let you have this.
Good one time.
God
damn it.
Nope. CNCA.
Alright, protect the arsenal, which I guess isn't Kindle, is what that tells me.
Yeah. If it were Kindle, I'd probably fire off here. But, yeah, I don't think I'm arsenaling.
Yeah, spindle for 5 is pretty good.
That's interesting.
I wonder if I was supposed to keep one of my pieces of FaB. Take 3 more damage just so I can interact with anything you're doing.
If I do this... No. I do this. This.
That's gonna be GG.
Yup, and then do this.
Alright, so what was I supposed to do?
So you were not supposed to spell void.
Okay. I was supposed to just take the 9 there?
So I think... So Wildfire's coming in for 7.
Yeah.
So I had 1 resource floating and no way to get another one. And floodgates cost 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't floodgates. The worst case scenario is I hit Aether Flare off the top if I draw a blue. If I have 1 floating and no way to make other resources, and then that goes from if you take 7 there, it goes to 10, and you spell void 3 on it. So then blazing comes in for 21.
Okay.
But if I drew a red there, then you're like in the clear. I think that's one of those ones where you just have to say you don't have it and just leave the AB up.
Okay.
Because like if you give me all your armor, great.
Yeah.
I also kind of got lucky there on the spindle for 5, being like, oh cool, I can just do everything I want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we do a few games and talk about the decks, and then we can, I guess, talk about Burnout.
Yeah, I'd like to.
I feel like everyone's been feeling it.
I'm like weirdly okay with the game right now. But I definitely have thoughts. Like I said, I wanted to write a script about Burnout, and then thought this is just kind of me poo-pooing a lot of the game with no greater message, and that's not productive or entertaining.
Yeah, I'm fine with the game, like, for the most part. And it's just like, I definitely have been feeling burned out, and I think part of it's just like post-nationals fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh boy.
Crucible.
Lessons for 4.
Lessons for 4. I don't think I care about this. I think as much as possible I need to not be pitching on your turn. Because that isn't what's going to kill me. I need to be able to pitch on my turn, which is what's going to kill me. You got a wildfire. Wildfire's in your arsenal.
Well, you don't know what's in my arsenal. Wildfire went on top of the deck.
Oh, sure. Okay, so wildfire.
So you know it's in my hand. You know it's in my hand, but you don't know what the arsenal is. Although you can kind of intuit what it is based on me getting wildfire there.
I think I have 2 reasonable guesses, being either blazing or kindle. Like, I think I can never put you off with just having kindle in the arsenal. So if that's what I'm playing around, I can do the fun thing and say, what do you want to do? Do you want to go now? Do you want to give me cards? Do you think I have it?
I'm not going to give you any cards like this.
I don't have it. Has been called.
I mean, you can have it or you don't. I have the luxury of being able to respond.
I can't. Hold on. Let me think. Do I want to flick the Colisera? I do want to flick the Colisera.
Okay, so it's not... Oh, it is take up the mantle. Okay. Alright, so... That's 6 here. Let's see what's on top. We'll pitch that. That's kind of crappy.
Okay, good start for me.
Do this, and this, and this.
Eggs the wildfire on top. And you had a grip of blues. That is fine because you can't pay for it.
So do this.
Okay.
Do
Kindle from the arsenal.
that. And we'll pay into the node.
That's atrocious.
Coming in for 7.
Coming in for 7. The floodgate is going to be coming in for 9. I cannot stop it from surging. Right, it's coming in for 7. I can only stop 6, which means that I put all of my resources into the wildfire and hope that the floodgates
I think
breaks.
the way to do this is see if you can see how much of the wildfire you can take and still stop the floodgates with the spell board.
The problem is
what I've seen people do.
The problem is so yes, you are right. The problem is I can't stop the floodgates because
you have like a red.
I have a red, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would.
I figure you probably would.
Yes. And even if I could stop 7 on the wildfire, I also need to remember that you have Knocker, which can give you nodes. I need to do this and hope that, but even this is like just kind of a repeat of our last game.
Well, the nice part is I get to keep Storm Striders.
This is also true.
Let's see. Overflow here. Nope. Super Kennedy comes in for 2. I think he comes in for 3, and then next one comes in for 3. Is that better than just fishing? If it's blazing, I win. Actually, I don't know if it's blazing, I win. No. I'm going to go for highest upside play, I think, and just try to YOLO blazing off the top.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
You're still very far ahead in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do get, it does come, I do take a chunk of damage here, but, like, going to 16, but I still have Storm Strider.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bonds isn't active. I don't take, like, I don't do anything, and now I'm just playing off the top of my deck.
Alright, so game's capped.
Oh, was Old Knocker not coded correctly? Oh, no, you untap. I'm thinking of Rum.
Yeah. I untap because it's whatever it is. Alright. CNC is fine.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. So that's interesting. Yeah, okay, I like this. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, so I'm going to banish that. Play that out. Activate it.
Mm-hmm.
And pass the turn and archive this card. And we're going to eye.
Oh, this game is turbo over.
Oh, you are toasted.
All right, so what I've learned.
You are toasted.
All right, I'll let you do it.
Yeah, because it's cool.
What I've learned is I need to start IPing a blue from. Let's try IPing it from turn 0. That's my big mistake this game was just committing to the Bonds play, and I shouldn't have. I think I need to not commit to plays that put me down so few cards at the start of my turn.
Wee. So I think Bonds is interesting because I have the ability to respond, so
Right.
it doesn't pressure Wildfire, especially if I'm like at a high life total.
Yeah.
If I'm at a high life total, I'm like, okay, and do what I did, right? If I'm at a lower life total, just because it can get bigger, I have to take it, but okay.
We're playing a weird game here. These two, like, just the way that
I
Kano
think
is.
I'm just gonna be fine with this.
Just the way that Kano is built is like so designed to have it by turn 2 that I feel like as much as I feel comfortable with my AB3 Spell Void 3, I also just kind of can't. Like, I cannot kill you fast enough.
Yeah, so I think the way to do it is you definitely, if you can't, you should be saving the Spell Void for stopping card draw. Just being able to shut down what is essentially just home, I think is more important than stopping the Wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's pretty okay. Let me send that. Hey, Wilson. Wilson and Philip are having a little cat spat. I think that's correct.
Yeah, stop the lesson.
Yeah, like, especially, like, if you can't, like, go super wide with your turn. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god. I just die the same way. Like, how realistic is it that you have Wildfire for 7 on turn 2? Because it's the second game in a row.
I'm so good at it.
And that's where it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to navigate this matchup because this shit just happens a lot of the time. Like, this is what Kano is built to do, and it's like, well, I can't win if Kano's just gonna do this every time.
Yeah, it's... So, like... I think I've gotten solidly lucky here.
This is also what every Kano tells me when they do this to me. They're like, yeah, I don't know, this is pretty unlikely that it would happen this way. And it's like, but
I don't think it's unlikely. Like, I'm trying to do this. Like, this is the goal, right?
Yeah, but it's like, this is the second game in a row that you've just had the nuts on turn 2. Like, how am I supposed to deal with this?
Blazing for a lethal.
Like, I don't...
Yeah, it's, like, I'm trying to do this, right? Like...
Yeah.
So, like, it's interesting because, I have people who say, like, who complain they don't like how Kano, like, randomly kills from turn 2. It's like, well, like, the deck is built in such a way where I'm trying to not have it be random. I'm just trying to do that. Like, I'm trying to, like, absolutely just roll over you as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think I can get rolled over. I think you should go, yeah, sending me first might be a little bit better.
I should be trying it just because that's how testing works, but I'm also thinking as far as, like... I feel like Assassin's in a weird spot with it, where I want to go second because I want to be able to disrupt you when you can't just give me free cards. But I also... I don't want to give you more chance to dig for pots.
Right. Like, I think that if you have that much Spell Void, like... it's probably worth having me go first. Because, I mean, if I just get a hand of, like, I'm sending damage at you, then, like, this is what happens, where it's just like, okay, well, you end up taking nothing and just filtering. And it's like, okay, cool. In this case, you filtered the whole hand, which is, like, solid for me, because it's like, okay, like, unless all of them are stuff that you didn't want, then it is alright, but...
Yeah, I'm kind of in a weird spot where I need to decide, like, how often do I get to dagger you? Like, I can efficiently spend 3 cards here, but I'm not floating any resources, and how much do I need to care about that to play around me getting blown up on turn 2?
Mm-hmm.
Not that.
That's pretty good. I think I just block. There's something interesting I could do here. Is it worth it? If it was any other blue, I would say it's worth it, but sure, I'll take edge damage.
Alright, this is coming for 1. I don't care about 1, but do I care about converting this hand differently? I'm gonna do... Okay, no, I don't care about 1. That's a silly question. Of course I don't.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, well, if I had like twining instead of the energy potion, I probably would have just pumped and sent destructive for 2 and said like, are you gonna take this?
Yeah.
All right, dagger's fine. I think I'm fine just getting marked. Ooh.
Now I get to ask you a question.
I'm fine with this question.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this.
Now your turn is over an instant. Next card you play this turn. Instead deals. Okay, so...
Okay.
It's amp, kind of.
I think I'm gonna do this, and then this, and then go like this. And I think I do it now, so that you have to decide how much you value reactions.
1 for 5. Alright, I can do...
I don't know any of the cards on top of my deck because I popped a 3 bottom 1. In the back side. Oh. The bottom this. Yeah, let's go like this. Play it.
That's pretty good.
Clear the mark, banish a card from the hand, can't do it. Codex, do you already have a leave now? You
I have
do
a
not.
CNC.
Okay. You have a CNC. Ooh, that's pretty gross. So you get my lesson in lava.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine.
I get your lesson, I get a 5-card hand. You have a Sapphire Amulet, which is really good for you to catch up.
I don't think I'm going to be activating it this turn, though. Hey, cat. Okay.
I was supposed to flick last turn. That's okay.
Oh, for the cooler syrup.
Yeah. I can do...
Dylan,
yeah,
get
that's a
down.
shame. Well, is there a way that I can convert this hand and not do that? Not lead with
I'm assuming you don't have a very blue heavy hand, because like you could just my thought process is like, well, if you did, you'd just go like dagger flick, then do that.
Yeah.
This is fine. Sure.
A yellow. Cool. I get to gain a life.
Philip, come on, don't do that. I know what you're thinking, and it's bad. He's like, we have a shelf with all the playmats, and he's like, what if I jump on the tippity top of the shelf? Please don't.
Let's go ahead and flick just in case.
Potion of Deja Vu. Okay. Hey. So I've seen a lot of potions.
Found the teapot.
Okay, we're just gonna do this.
Yeah.
I kind of need to do something. I haven't seen Wildfire at all.
The greatest player.
It's fine. Hey, buddy. This is also fine. CNC.
Now let's force you to do something. You have an extremely good setup, but I'm at 34. You're actually at 8 this time, so even if this hits and you don't kill me, then you are in trouble.
I think I'm gonna pass here. I'm gonna click.
I'm gonna clear out a dagger, deal an extra point.
I'm gonna do this. Let's see what there is. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Sorry, this depot makes this a little weird.
Uh-huh. Okay, depotting. So you're gonna banish the Sonic Boom. And then have a flare and an amulet.
There we go. I actually completely botched how I was supposed to do that. Sorry, sequencing is hard.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Top, top, top. Banish this.
Yeah, there's the boom.
Go like that. Then go like this. That on top.
No rag, there's a blue. Okay, so that's the amulet, which you can pitch. Yeah.
This still might not kill,
You'll
but
find an Aether Flare. Where do you find? Oh, because you had the yeah. Now there's an Aether Flare on top.
now there's an Aether Flare. Which I think I just want to draw. So then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, so I can go 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yep. Obtain this. So Wildfire's coming in for 7.
I need to decide. Okay, so we give you 3 for sure. The Sonic Boom is now going to be coming for too much damage that I can't afford to care about the Sonic Boom. So if I'm thinking about mitigating damage, then I would just Spell Void 3 here. If I'm thinking about efficiently using my hand, then I would Spell Void 1 and then pitch my yellow to AB2 and Spell Void 2 the Sonic Boom. But again, that's not going to matter. It'll just come in for 3. I don't mind having this card in Arsenal. The question is, Spell Void 3 is the most damage that I can prevent, and I think that's fine, because I just need to stay alive. If you're not going to block the CNC, the Flick Knives and the CNC take you to 1, and then I just need you to not be able to kill me on your next turn. But you still have Striders. don't know if the Spell Void 2 here matters.
Alright, so now I have Striders. Pop the pot. Lesson in Lava. 4. Get a card. I believe I still have one in the deck. I do. Get Blazing. I don't know if this kills. I'm gonna do Sonic Boom. For 4. Blazing Aether. So Blazing Aether comes in for 10. And then Blazing for lethal.
Oh my god. This matchup is so cursed.
Come here, cat. Yeah, he wants a little bit of bits. You want to talk about Burnout?
I want to talk about
Prism or something.
I want to talk about how I'm supposed to win this matchup. Because it just seems like
Give me 1 second while I give the cats a little snack because they're little greedy gophers about food. Well, one of them is. You get to have Son in your little enrichment gym. And then Wilson, you get some pity bits. Because you're dumb. You've played against like Majin's Kano, right?
I have played against
Back when he was
Majin's Kano.
still on it.
Yeah.
Because I know he's off of it because of the I think the tome ban. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen or talked to him about why he's on Verdance now, but
He was playing.
I'm assuming like
he was playing
Tome
Kano
ban
more
is
recently. He doesn't like. He really didn't like the ICDM list with no spindles, and he's since tried spindle, and he still just doesn't like the way that Kano's built, where like you just go for these plays where if you ever hit the gem or the potion on top of your deck, you just die. Like my understanding
I've been
is
liking this build.
he feels like Kano now is just very all in on like, you have your one turn, and if the one turn doesn't work in any way, then you die.
Yeah, I think that I like this current build. Like, I think it's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like down to 6 floodgates instead of like the full greed package. Because I also hate floodgates. I don't. So it's funny. I talked to Brian Gottlieb with Matt for a little bit, just about the documentary and other stuff, and that's where I got him to sign my mat. But I was like, yeah, like you banned the tomes and you printed floodgates, and I was like, what is the rationale? And I guess like a lot of it is just look if Kano LLs, Kano LLs. Like, he's been around since Arcane Rising, and they're not going to go out of their way to prevent Kano from LLing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't like. I don't blame them, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I too just cannot stand floodgates. Like, it's so high variance. They should unban just Toma Aetherwind because it's cool.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I know objectively Tome is a better, like Tome of Aetherwind is a better card than Floodgates because it just draws you the cards. But I feel like Kano's big kill combo was less good without Floodgates because Floodgates is damage.
Yeah, it just goes so wide too. And like the other thing about tomes is it lets you do stack into like slower decks, and I think that the game in the wake of the tome banning actually suffered from lack of stacking Kano.
Mm-hmm.
Because you saw like Nu and Enigma just kind of run rampant.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the natural predator was Nu gets paired into Kano, and then like dies horribly to me just blocking everything and setting up the kill combo. And Enigma, like you just like do like I still think the matchup was bad for Enigma post tone ban, but like it used to be you just do this like set up like pitch stack wall, so just clearing the board every turn because you couldn't deal with it. But yeah, I don't know. I made that post. I was like, I think that I am not going to do this. How dare you?
It's understandable.
See. Thinking about this. Great card.
It's rude.
Probably a bad play, but I was like, yeah, like this will actually make you do something if you value that card.
I don't, but I also maybe I should just take 2 here. I really don't like this card, and I don't want it.
I'm wondering what it is.
Yeah, you know what? I will give you this blue double trouble.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's completely understandable. That is not a card that you want to be seeing.
No, it's like, I have it.
Death.
You didn't make me pitch, so, you know, I can clear it from the arsenal if I need to, but, yeah, really not what I'm looking for.
Not going to block Kiss of Death. I know that is like a recipe for disaster. Given your track record on hitting with Art of Desire Body, I don't think you're going to this time either.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm counting on not hitting. God damn it.
Oh, no, you hit.
That's a good one, too.
Give me cards.
I will.
Infiltrate. I gotta do this. Doing it now so you can't close the chain.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Ooh.
What do I do with this? 4 arcane damage of target opposing hero. If any of the wildfire is played during an opponent's turn until end of turn, attack action. Okay, cannot play this instant speed.
No, you cannot.
So now we have an interesting question.
You could play it.
I could play it. Like, honestly, not the worst idea. You need to pitch to stay alive. Huh. Let me close the chain. Like, I could also just pass my turn. Which gives you a turn, which I know I'm not supposed to do, but then you deal some damage. Oh, let's...
Alright, if you're wildfire.
Let's make you do something.
actually does make me have to do something, because I... Alright, I think I'm going to actually pit, like, as insane as that is.
Like, it was either
I think I'm actually going to...
It was either the Wildfire or play the Command and Conquer, and I felt like playing the Command and Conquer was worse because it leaves me down a resource. Ow.
I think I've been playing this game wrong. Ooh, do you want to give me a ponder?
You know what? I will give you a ponder.
Yay. Ponder.
Alright. Please give me... Please,
I
please
gotta
do
do
something.
something.
Okay, this is from hand. Back to the top.
I shouldn't do that yet, sorry.
Yep.
Now I should do it. Go.
Yeah, you have the E-Pot. You are short a resource to Kano and Wildfire. Unless you Kindle from Arsenal, and that draws you a card. 2 top, 1 bottom. There's E-Pot. E-Pot for Kano. Play Kindle. Play enough.
Come on,
Jesus
no
Christ.
enemies. It's not great. It doesn't get there. Yeah, it does not get there.
I could definitely pitch 3. I mean, I have another blue in hand. It's just like, I think it's more... Right,
Like,
so
if you stuff this entirely, I think, like, because I don't have any more resources, I think you just get there.
I can't stuff it entirely. I can take 2, but yeah, you're right. I take 2.
Well, I mean,
from
if you, like,
this.
if you spend everything, yeah, you take 2, then 4, then
8.
8, which is, like, not enough.
Okay, I take 2, then 4, then 8, so a total of 14. I don't want to have to do math, so I'm going to not AB this, or spell void this. I'm going to spell void the next thing.
Okay. 10.
Alright, so I've taken 5 and then 6. So yes.
And 14.
Okay, yeah, so it would have been better for me to just spell void it. Alright.
Yeah, it does, yeah. So I had that, I should have gone for it earlier, but I was playing, I don't know, I was playing a little scared. Alright, we'll do one more.
One more, and then we'll talk about and
then we'll chit-chat about, I think I will go first. I usually default to Lightning going first, but yeah, actually I've been enjoying the way this build has been playing.
Mm-hmm. So I know the reason I'm supposed to go first is so that if you're going to just dig for potions, then I can send some damage. The problem is, I don't think Slippy does that super well. So I agree that I should just go second and do spell AB. You get to fix the top 2 cards of your deck, which is like whatever.
Yeah, Aurora told me never to block this.
Yeah.
because of T-Toxin.
Yeah.
I remember going, like, I think I played Prism into Slippy. Like, that was the first time I played against Slippy, and I didn't know what any of the cards were. And Aurora was like, "Oh my god, why don't you know what any of the cards are?"
I wanted to hold the Infect, but I need to get my damage from flicking this Kiss, so we just send that, and then I will not arsenal a card in my hand, and that should tell you pretty clearly what color this card is.
Let's see what there is on top. These are crappy.
Top to bottom.
Depot.
That's pretty good.
Depot.
Ooh.
If it was Wildfire there, I think it could have easily gone for it, but oh well, alas. Alright, I think this is fine. This is also fine. Can banish this Aether Dart. Alright, so you have to hit exactly a red off the top?
No. Oh, yes, I do.
Yes. And you get a blue.
I'm not good at this game.
Let's do this. Playing Path Noise here. Give me Ponder.
I will give you a Ponder.
Give me your Arsenal.
This is 2.
Oh my god, this is annoying.
That's fine.
Oh no.
I banished a blue.
You banished my other blue.
What did I banish from the top? Oh, I banished a Sapphire Amulet and then revealed. Okay, you have Aether Flare Kindle.
We're just gonna send it. Give me damage.
This is just 3. Do I care?
Like, the deck still dies to the classic I didn't find Wildfire.
Yeah.
Alright, we gotta fucking find Wildfire. Come on. Oh my god.
For 4.
Yeah, at this point, this is just desperation.
Deal.
Sure, so...
Okay.
Hmm.
You don't have the E-Pots. You are going to...
Kindle from Arsenal.
Kindle E-Pot doesn't give it to you. So you're just getting back an E-Pot, so you could do literally any damage.
Well, I know it's on top of my deck. Alright, so I'm gonna let you decide what to do.
Take up... If you just block... Oh, you can't block anymore.
I can't block, yeah, this is reacts. Okay, so we gotta do it. Yeah, I did this wrong. Oh well. I'm scooping it.
Okay.
I probably should have done something with hat. I don't know. Oh well.
Alright.
My brain's molten from playing too much Kano.
Okay, so if I've learned anything, it's go second and IP a blue. From turn 0.
Yeah, or also just, I mean, you don't have to necessarily IP a blue, but like, I think going second is pretty useful. Because like, I'm not guaranteed to find potions. This deck in particular is actually running one fewer depot. Then most of them are on 3, but this one you kind of want to like have more stuff for flare to work.
Okay.
Most of them are not running flare either. But yeah, I think like the worst case scenario, if I could go first, is I get to play out a bunch of potions. If I get to go second, I can block a bunch of the stuff that you're doing. Like if you end up in a situation where you don't have to go again, I can activate Kano a bunch of times anyway. I think first second's not as important as like just relevant pressure. And then like I think the key in the games that I lost, the key was like I didn't see wildfire.
Yeah.
For a long time, and then by the time I finally did, I was at a super low life total. So I think the strategy, I guess, is just to go as fast as you can.
I think.
Which, like, I mean, is limited by what you draw, right? But like, I think like overcommitting to bonds early is like not necessarily great.
Yeah, the overcommitting to bonds wasn't great. In our first game, I gave you the spell void on wildfire when there wasn't. I couldn't stop a floodgates. I don't think you even had a floodgates in that game, and then not having any arcane barrier killed me because I couldn't stop you from killing me later.
Like, if I'm not going to die and you give me, like, you're in a position where you're like, well, I should stop the wildfire from proccing the floodgates, or I should stop the floodgates, and you just give me all your armor and I still have like something left over, then like that's really good for me because it's just like, oh cool, I think that was the game where I like had Spindle, and then I like Spindle for 5 and saw like 3 blues, a lesson, and a wildfire, and I had blue in here. It's like, oh, I can do the thing, like the old faithful combo line. And then the game after that where I got to keep Striders, but then like you gave me all of the equipment. It's just like, I don't think, you never want to end up in that situation. So like the longer you can keep the Widow set and the lower Kano's life is, the better for you.
That makes sense.
So like part of it is just like hope the Kano doesn't have like that one where like, what was it, Wildfire, when you put Wildfire to 1, right? And then I did like lesson into Sonic, into Blazing, and still got there.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of have to hope that like scenario doesn't happen. But
yeah, I don't think I can stop that.
Yeah, I'm tight on resources a lot of the time, right? Like, it's weird because like the longer the game goes, the more potions I can get set up a lot of the time. But if it goes on too long, then my life total's just too low to have the turn like matter. Like if I get to survive the turn, like that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Is like it's like, okay, cool. Like you don't have any of this anymore. I still have wildfires or whatever in the deck, and I can just like I have free reign now if I see them.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think that's like the takeaway. So like, yeah, if you get paired into a Kano, they're probably not going to be on exactly this. So like, don't expect them to have flares. If you're playing in Kansas City, or Cindering Foresight, they're probably just going to be on like, not necessarily. I don't know if it's going to be full ICBM, but full ICBM I think is a little bit easier to deal with, just because like most of their deck is floodgates, and if you can turn off the floodgates draw with your armor, that goes a long way.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like if you see red open the floodgates, then what you want to do is like, if the wildfire is coming in for 7, you have 2 blues, AB 3 the wildfire, and then AB 3 spell void 3 the floodgates, so that it's completely shut out. Yeah. Or AB 3 spell void 1 the floodgates.
Yeah, whatever the math is. Whatever the math is to stop the floodgates, because that's what's going to kill me.
Come on, little cat. But yeah, so that's actually what I've been doing to combat burnout, is just working on the videos.
Look at that segue. Bringing it back on topic.
Yeah, look at that segue. That's pretty good.
Impressive. You must be a content creator.
Yeah, I'm not the very personable half of the team of Flesh and Bad. But yeah, you've been feeling burned out. Like, I've been feeling burned out. It seems like everyone's a little bit burned out. We went to Armory on Wednesday, and it was like kind of a small crowd for the Armory we went to. Like, it's an Armory that routinely has like 20 some people, and there's like maybe 10. So yeah, like, do you think that there's like a burnout epidemic right now?
I think there is. I think there are a few reasons for it. You know, I think I ran it past. Yeah, I did. I had my own personal idea of, I think we're repeating the Gravy, the Aurora Enigma meta with Gravy Slippy, and I ran that past you, and you said you're experiencing burnout for a different reason. And I thought, well, I'm going to make the post on Blue Sky, and then that got traction, and it did just get me thinking, maybe it isn't the specific meta. There are a few reasons I think that are going around that people are burning out, and they're all just sort of, there's some overlap. But
yeah,
I think
interesting.
It's like, really going around.
So like, so part of the reason I mean, so like Nationals was a really big deal, and then once that's over, it's like, so Aurora and I are not going to any bigger tournaments until after October, because we're moving back to Portland in October.
Okay.
And so it's like, money-wise, to get out somewhere, and everything's so expensive to travel and like to eat and to like get a hotel room or anything. Like money-wise, it makes no sense for us to travel.
No.
Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. I have to put the headphone back in the case. Yeah, I'm gonna buy new AirPods tonight, I think. So yeah, like monetarily, it makes no sense for us to travel. So it's like, well, there's not a big thing that I'm like actively wanting to go do. So it's like, okay, well, why? Like, I guess I'll put it on the back burner, because it's like, I'm not super interested in like the casual side of the game. It's like, I want to do the tournaments. I want to like go to the PQs and stuff. And then like skirmish season is coming up, which is like interesting, but like I don't play Blitz. And that's not because like Blitz is bad or anything. I just don't play it.
Yeah.
And LL seems neat, but then like I know that there's some that are doing crack shuffle play, and it's kind of just entirely which ones we can get out to. So it's like, well, if the one we're going to is like blitz or crack shuffle play, I'm probably just going to sit it out and hang out at home and work on the videos.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It feels like right now just there's a lull in the game. I think Nationals being on release day, which from what I understand is like not something that they had much control over, kind of contributed to it, because it's like, here's this new set, it's out, here's the big event that you're going to play, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now the set's going to be out till Super Slam.
I think a lot of people a lot of U.S. players felt stressed about Nationals. I don't think I talked to anyone that was going to U.S. Nationals that wasn't stressed for some reason. And there were many reasons. It was, you have to travel for this big event. Vegas sucks. Sort of universally, I think most of us agree that Vegas is not where we want to have it.
Oh my God, as a tangent, let's talk about how much Vegas sucks. Vegas is terrible. I've never been. And I was so, like, disappointed.
I like gambling, and by gambling I mean slot machines. I like just parking myself in front of a slot machine, so anytime that I can do that, I'm okay. But Vegas, like, the weather was terrible. I've never been somewhere where I felt so much like the sun is trying to kill me. Like, I live in Sacramento, California. It gets hot here. August is...
Yeah.
Basically every August is over 100 degrees for the entire 30-day period. But Vegas, I don't know what was different about Vegas, but I would go outside at 9 in the morning and it's 90 degrees outside and I'm already like melting. It was so,
it's crazy.
I walked to a Starbucks in the morning. I was dying.
I grew up in the Southern California desert. So like if you're in San Diego, if you go 2.5 hours east to the Imperial Valley, that's where I grew up.
Okay.
And I was there till I was like 23. And every summer it's like regularly 110 plus. And it's oftentimes quite dry. In fact, most of the time it's very dry and people are like, oh, well, it's fine. It's a dry heat. It's not humid. It's like at 115, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
it's like, who cares? Like if it's humid, it's only going to be so much worse. Like, but it was weird going to Vegas because it's like I stepped outside and I was like, oh, it feels like home in like the worst way.
Yeah.
And then it like the second you were off the strip, it just felt like just kind of a bummer.
Yes.
We like just, I don't know. It was weird. We didn't really want to go out and gamble. Like it seemed like it could be fun, but then it was just like, I don't really want to go do this. And then the event was fun, but I mean, like, you know, calling is an all-day thing. Like maths is an all-day thing. So you're tired, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really want to go and party all night because I have to wake up at like 7 and then the thing starts at 9 and it's like a mentally taxing activity. So like, why would I go out and party in Vegas? So I don't know. I understand, I guess, why. Like, I know it's like a destination for big events and stuff, but it would have been so much nicer if it was not in Vegas.
No, I agree. But yeah, that's a reason to be stressed in Vegas. Either you're sourcing your cards and you're terrified that you're not going to get them because you want to play Gravy or Marlin or Puffin, and there's allocation issues. You don't want to play any of those heroes.
Like Earth heroes or Verdants.
Yeah, because you need to get your Everbloom. Yeah. No, my teammates are like scrambling for their Everblooms.
Aurora was like trying to like broker deals for Everblooms, and I like had to place a pre-order with Min-Max to pick up the amulets I needed for Kano. And it's just like, it was so difficult to get the cards. And I know that that's not LSS thinking it's a great idea to release a set on Nationals Day. Like, from what I understand, it's like a TO thing.
I heard this. Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Very stressful.
That it was
like I cannot imagine that they'd willingly do that if they had a choice.
My understanding is they wanted to do it the week after, but Star City Games had a conflict with Magic's Pro Tour, which was also in Vegas, and their PT was going to happen the next week, which is when LSS wanted. And so then, I don't know if it was a schedule, like if LSS tried to book it later and got pushed back because of that, or if they had done it correctly and then SCG screwed them because Magic is a bigger game. But no, I heard the same thing, that it was basically they wanted it to be the week after release, but had to have it on release weekend and just rolled with it.
It's rough. Well, I know that decision made a lot of people like upset.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, and like I don't think it's their fault, but like I know multiple people who are like, well, like I'm not even going to bother because I just can't find the cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. All of this stuff is stressful, and then like, yeah, I think the meta game is also just stressing a lot of people out, and like kind of just Gravy's weird. I don't really have the problem with Gravy that a lot of people seem to have, but like I do understand the frustration of feeling like there's these board state decks that just kind of invalidate classes. Mm-hmm. I don't play any decks that are invalidated by these, but
yeah,
like I do feel bad for like, I guess like, well, not Dory. Dory, like, I think eats Gravy alive, but like the people who just cannot deal with that. Hold on, I have to get this cat off the counter. Will you get off the counter, little cat? Cool. All right, he's off the counter. And then like, I don't know. I don't like, a friend of ours doesn't like Slippy at all. Just as a deck. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's as bad as Aurora, but I do have like an issue with aggro decks having access to a lot of disruption.
I agree. I think Slippy, the more I play Slippy, the less I like Slippy, because Slippy feels like it is just bonds the deck, and every play that you're making is leading you towards an inevitable Bonds of Agony, and if you do it, then you win, and if you don't do it, then you lose. Which
I think Bonds is... I think they made that card wrong.
I think Bonds should not exist, and at the same time, if Bonds doesn't exist, then Slippy doesn't either. Marionette without Bonds would be fine. Slippy without Bonds would not be a real deck anymore, and that's a sacrifice that I'd be willing to make if there was another aggro deck that did... I just want Aurora back, and so Slippy is my, like, in the meantime I'll do this, because Slippy is kind of dynamic and has some tricky plays, and Bonds for one go again has real Starfall for one energy, but the deck isn't engaging in the same way. Aurora felt like she could draw out of her bad hands. Slippy feels that way too, but Slippy is the only aggro deck that I think feels that way. So if they ban Bonds and by effect ban Slippy, then Syndra doesn't do that. Dio kind of does. Not at all. And that's about it for the aggro decks. It's like, it's Syndra or Dio. Or, I guess, Acilio.
Well, the aggro thing's so weird to me, because, like, I think that... So I once complained that it's like, I guess with the exception of High Seas, but they've had a redline aggro deck in, I think from Bright Lights to Hunted, every hero or every set released like a brand new aggro hero, and then Zen became like this mid-range thing later. Mm-hmm. But like, I felt personally pretty tired with, well, I guess heavy hitters did. Well, heavy hitters did. It was KO. I was like, very frustrated with Rosetta and Hunted, because it's just like, okay, cool. Well, now here's the new aggro hero. Here's the new aggro hero, and it felt a lot like the decks that I like to play just were not getting anything. And like, so like I was at my most burnt out on the game during Rosetta. If it wasn't for Florian, I might have stopped playing because of the tome ban and just like not enjoying the metagame at the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't really enjoy Hunted either. I thought like the metagame of the 3 Misfit Heroes and then Viscerai and Aurora was like not a great time to be playing the game.
No.
Unless you're one of those 5 decks. And the people who played those 5 decks were like, oh, it's really deep and there's like a ton of different ways to build them in response to each other. It's like, yeah, but it's just these 5.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like, if you want to do anything else and like you don't like any of them, that sucks. I think High Seas is like a much more interesting meta to me, but like, I don't know. I think I quoted you on Blue Sky and said like, for me, the game has been less fun since the tomes got banned.
Yeah.
Because it feels like there's decks that are doing the same exact unfair thing, like in terms of like offensive overlaps is like the word Brian Gottlieb used. I don't necessarily think it's always offensive overlaps, but there's still like this unfairness to a lot of decks. It's just in a different way. So people aren't upset at a thing that they can point to, which is like, okay, well, Zen Art Award and then Art Award and then I died. Yeah. Or like Kano drew 2 and then drew 2 off of tomes and then I died. But there's like, it feels like there's still like this latent like thing where there's a lot of cards that are just too strong, and like decks are kind of warped around these things that are way too strong, and people are upset playing against this, but it's like they're not able to express like exactly what it is that's bothering them the way that they were with tomes. And yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Like I'd like to see bans of some of these cards. I was honestly surprised Miragai and Bonds never ate a ban during New and Enigma being around. Mm-hmm. Like that to me is kind of crazy that those cards lasted throughout those heroes' existence. Especially Miragai. Like, that card's miserable.
Miragai is miserable. I think Enigma's just stops being a deck without Miragai, which is why I could see them. Because there is this argument that is... I agree with the argument that was made back when Lexi was a hero doing 3-of-a-kind nonsense, which is heroes need to be able to do powerful things.
Yeah.
So the Enigma
I agree with that.
having... Like, Miragai was a pain to deal with, but I respected that Enigma needed to have something going on besides like Phantasmaclasm, because that was such a uniquely mystic illusionist card.
I think that card should have cost 6, maybe.
I could have seen
should require like 2 chi to play.
Yeah.
Like I think Bond. I posted on Blue Sky a while ago. It's like Bond should have been 4 reacts, and a couple of people were like, nah, and I'm like, nah, think about it. Like, you could still get it going in new, like easily, but it means that the assassin player like has to actively have more cards in hand and has to commit more, and like, I don't know. I think that's like those 2 cards are just like I think in retrospect they probably would have designed them differently. It's funny that Zen, like, his cards are in the set are comparatively like tame.
Yeah.
It was primarily Art of War that was breaking him.
Yeah. Well, if you compare like Zen's big majestic was Chase the Tail, which is when all is said and done, it's a 1 for 7. And what made Zen so insane was that he could tutor it, and he had different combi. Like you had I'm blanking on the name of the card. Chase aspect of Tiger Body. That you had just different weight. You had Pouncing Paws. You had the block card that would make a tiger. You just had so many ways to make it a 1 for 7 that's what was egregious about it. But compared to Bonds and Miragai, like, okay, oh wow, it's 1 for 7 and it has no additional text. Wow.
Like Miragai, I played a game I got paired into 2 Enigmas back to back at the PQ Plus in Denver, and I don't think I've ever been more upset at a game than getting paired into 2 Enigmas back to back and losing both the win and ins. But God, so like one of them got a Miragai out and just was able to defend it, and it's like, okay, value wise, that's like a 2-card 30 or more. Like, it's like it just exists, and I cannot deal with it because the deck is so defensive. And I was just like, I'm so mad. I should have if I brought Kano to that event, oh man, the Miragai players would have been, or the Enigma players would have been so mad. But like, yeah, it just, I don't think I've ever been more upset than back to back, like, guess you'll die to this aura that you can't do anything about. And like, I completely lost the train of thought.
Well, so what's funny now is I'm looking, in the context of the set, when the Mystic Heroes were all legal, we could look at their entire card pools together and say between Mystic Assassin and Assassin cards, or Mystic Ninja and Ninja, they're all independently very strong, but Zen is the strongest because Zen just has a hero text that is better than News or Enigmas. But what's funny now is looking back, and you look at the current meta in which the Mystic Heroes are all banned, looking at the individual card pools, removing Mystic because the Mystic Heroes aren't legal, Illusionist sucks. Illusionist is terrible. Ninja is terrible. Assassin is insane. Assassin's 3 Majestics or Bonds of Agony, Persuasive Prognosis, and Justinic, which are all like such absurd value when you put them to, not only put them together, like Justinic works with Bonds or Prognosis, but just like Justinic is a 0 for 5. Prognosis is a 1 for 5, I guess, if you look at 1 point of damage, gain a health, banish a card.
More than a 0 for 5 if you count the second mode as like 3 values, so it's like a 0 for 8. Like depending on what you banish off the top, right?
Yeah.
So like it's even, so like, yeah, that card is pushed beyond what a Majestic probably should even be. Like, it's crazy how strong Justinic is.
That's like, and then, you look at the current meta and like, well, which of these 3 classes is actually represented and why is that class represented? And it's Assassin because of Mistveil, and specifically it's Slippy because Bonds for 1 go again when it can be backed up by Justinic is just an absurd combination. And I think
Hunted also did a lot to like really make it kind of a toxic play pattern. What was it I said? I think they should ban cards.
Yes.
What did I like explain what my point was, or did I do the thing where I just posted a hot take and let people get mad? And
I think you just posted a hot take.
Okay, I have like a rationale on why I think Flick Knives is kind of like not an okay card, given the context of the cards printed and hunted. I think it's a starts in play, stays in play, right?
Yeah.
And before the dagger stuff, like the only real way to re-equip a dagger was Concealed Blade. So like what Flick Knives represented was 2 things. It was inevitability. So like late game, if your opponent is at 1, like you got him dead to rights.
Yeah.
And you could run something like Nerve Scalpel, which you could then flick and then make it so their blocks are worse. Especially because like Nerve Scalpel, like you could do it in response to the D-Rack before the D-Rack fully resolved.
Yeah.
But either way, it's you're spending resources, which are in this case your weapons and your equipment, to get value when you need it, and you're not getting them back, barring like some weird cards that require you to hit. And then Hunted comes out, and it gives the class a bunch of cards that very easily get the dagger back that you want to be playing anyway. Some of them even do damage, like pick up the point.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you also get Hunter's Clave, which is just like a thing where it marks, and you have a bunch of cards that care about this marked effect, and now you just have the ability to mark your opponent basically at will, and then you can get it back. So to me, it kind of breaks like the idea of FaB of like you start your strongest and you get weaker over time, just because I compared it to Crown of Seeds to someone, where it was like, okay, well, you're doing this thing over and over and over, and you're getting value like consistently with this piece of equipment, whereas it used to not be that way, and now I think it's too much, especially because like it serves as just an onboard react for bonds and like take up the mantle and stuff like that. It's made the way like the play patterns for these decks so streamlined. Whereas it's like okay, well, do they have bonds? Well, of course they have bonds. They have flick knives, and if you're Marionette and you've transformed, then you also have that shit.
Yeah.
And you probably have a foot slot that does the same thing. So it's like, I feel like the decks have gotten, like, especially Assassin, like, it's become too easy for them to do the thing that they're doing. So, like, that is my big complaint about flick knives.
No, I get it. And I think you made a really good point that echoes what a buddy of mine, Tommy BK500 on Blue Sky, he comments a lot, has said, which is, I think this meta feels bad for a lot of people because every aggro deck is based on this idea of do they have it? And a lot of the time, so Assassin is the easiest one to point to because Flick Knives, Hunter's Clave, Take Up the Mantle, Bonds of Agony. If I start with Bonds for one go again and have a card in arsenal and 3 cards in hand, do they have it becomes a very easy question to answer. The answer is yes. But then it's like, okay, then the follow-up to that question is, in what way do they have it? Like, can I block Bonds for 4 because they don't actually have any plus power reactions and they're going to turn it on with Perdition, Flick Knives, and Black Tack? Or is it Bonds for 19 because they have 3 copies of Justinic in hand?
Yeah.
And between those two, there's probably a middle ground, which is, can I block it for 7? Can I block it for 10? If it's a single Justinic and a Razor's Edge, can I block it for 12? And like, you have to play this very stressful guessing game where there isn't a right answer. But let's take away that. Let's say it's Bonds for one go again. And now the Assassin player has Flick Knives and 2 cards in hand. Do they have it? Like, well, now what are the life totals? Can I afford for them to not have it? Can I block like they do have it and then be wrong? And that's just not a game that people want to play. But you can extrapolate that further to the other aggro decks, which is, does Acilio have it? Because if Acilio has 2 Sigil of Brilliance and Gone in a Flash on turn 3, you're probably dead. Or does Dio have...
I had a game into Acilio at Armory where it came down to, well, I hope they don't draw an instant speed shock so I can at least draw up and have a go at it on their turn. And then they did. It's like, cool. It's great that they had that.
With the instant speed shock, what else do they have? Do they have 3 sigils and now it's instant speed shock for 4? And you had to, you messed up by not giving equipment on the previous turn because you just thought, well, surely there's no way that they're going to 4 me on my turn. Dio's did they have max V on turn 2? Did they have Spark? Did the Spark draw them to max V? What did they flip off the top over the course of the game? And to your earlier point of what can LSS ban that fixes any of this? What can people point to as this is why I don't enjoy playing against this hero? It's as far as the aggro hero goes, every aggro deck is just asking, do I have it? And with Assassin, it's particularly stressful because you as the opponent supposedly have agency, but you kind of don't. But even against the other aggro heroes, maybe not Syndra as much, but I think Syndra's just a bad hero. Against Acilio Dio, it's if they just draw the nuts, you cannot stop them. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing some sort of heavy disruptive deck. But even then, it's if Victor took a turn off and didn't pummel and doesn't have Test of Iron Grip, then Dio runs him over. or if you're playing the Slippy mirror and you didn't disrupt them on their big bonds turn, then you can't stop them. Like, we have one ice hero in the format, and he's fine. But Jarl doesn't even have a super good matchup into Arakni, and then you throw in the other big deck that is a problem, which is Gravy Bones. And now Jarl, again, do you have it? If you as Jarl don't have Batter to a Pulp or Frozen to Death with Crumble to Eternity, you kind of just die. Like, what do you do? Oh, well, now we can get...
Hello, Aurora. Now we can get the Aurora's perspective on what's wrong with the game. But yeah, there are too many things that are just like, well, like, if they have that sucks in the game right now. And I don't know what they do.
No, I think we're too far.
I think there's too many things to ban. And like, it's not bad to the point where it's like, this is like, this needs fixing now, but it is just kind of like, it seems like most sets, like a new thing comes out and there's like a ultra high value card where like the way that it interacts with the game is the numbers are super strong and there's a disruptive effect, like Felling of the Crown or Bonds of Agony, or trying to think if there's anything in Hunted, probably. I don't remember what's in that set. And like there's so many of them. There are so many sets now, or like heroes that just have access to this power card. And I would I feel it with Kano a lot too, because it's like, okay, well, Wildfire is the power card. And it's like, well, wouldn't it be nice if the deck had access to other cards that were good? And like, as a whole, the quality of the cards were just very good, but there's nothing that's like wildly overrate with like a crazy disruptive effect that like completely shifts the course of the game.
I feel like Aurora, as much as people didn't like Aurora and as much as Aurora was pushed, I understand all of this. I thought that she was the best aggro hero that LSS has ever designed, which means that she has a ton of options of how to play her hands. She can play her way out of bad draws, but she is not fundamentally doing anything that is problematic. She was doing too much at every point. She shouldn't have had as much go again. All of her attacks were 0 for 4s. Channel Lightning Valley was very difficult to play around, but she was just doing her thing. She didn't disrupt ever. The builds that were running Snuff Out were cope. She was just like, she's this fun, dynamic aggro deck that doesn't have any good counterplay, and that was the problem. But the actual, like...
It's too much armor.
too much armor. Arc Flicker was a problem.
Too much armor.
She had Arc Flicker to get through her counters. Aggro heroes having a fridge is also a problem. We saw that with Zen. We saw it with Aurora. I think Dio has it to an extent.
I think I told someone once, like, yeah, Aurora should have access to the fridge that Azalea does, where it's like 2 armor, and neither of them are things that you want to block. But instead, she can just like toss the whole thing in front of like a disruptive attack, and you have to like get through multiple, like you have to do multiple like disruptive attacks to just get through the fridge, and it's like there's no reason that like this aggro deck should have access to this.
I think if you took away Grasp and Carapace and gave her, she was just running Tunic and I guess Zap Clappers in every matchup, then she's fine. She has 4 armor. Crown is just Crown. Tunic she's never going to block with unless she has to, or else she'll die. And Zap Clappers has one very specific combination that makes it good, but even then, it's only ever 4 points of value. It's the 1 Arcane, and then if it drew a card with Channel Lightning, it was +3. And like, but it didn't stop CNC. It didn't stop Weakest Link. It just replaced it.
Yeah, I cannot stand. Go on, honey.
I feel like they kind of learned their lesson with Syndra a little bit when, like, Syndra came after Aurora. Like, they gave her, like, in order for her engine to, like, be online, you can't really give up any armor, right? Like, you have to, like, keep most of your armor. Like, you get, like, 1 point of block for free, basically.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like they kind of learned their lesson a bit from that, but like Syndra has her own like separate issues. So yeah,
I'm glad that they learned their lesson. I felt like they should have learned their lesson from Zen, but I won't hold it against them with Rosetta coming out immediately after Zen and Aurora's big problematic equipment being things that already existed. Like,
yeah.
Crown is just good. Carapace was good when it released, but it released back in a time when the most absurd thing Briar could do was CMH into Snatch for 10 go again, which was also
They
good,
should
but
also
there's a
ban
reason Briar allowed.
Carapace.
I would love to see them ban
hate
Dieta
Carapace.
Carapace.
I don't like that it is AB2, personally. I also think it's boring. I'm just going to come out and say it.
It is boring.
I think it's a snooze fest. It doesn't do anything. It blocks for 2 then 1, and it ABs 2. It's just like, I do not like that card.
When Aurora's moved away from it by the end of her time in CC, you had it in the list, but it was really just there for Kano, because you would rather play Tunic in every other matchup. The one resource was
She
just
did run
that
into
good.
me as Prism as well. Just
Yes.
to stop and that drove me crazy. It's just like, come on, let me have the...
Send your 6-power Herald. I just get to give you armor and a D-React.
Like, I want to hit you with Herald of Erudition. Like, this is legal that you're blocking with armor. But yeah, I think there's been a lot of weird power creep in the game, especially around like armor and just like disruptive stuff. And I think that is like one of the root causes of people just kind of feeling this like almost malaise with the game right now.
Did y'all talk
Yeah,
about
I don't
like the new hero issue, I guess, as well?
I don't know. Did you?
Not quite.
So okay, so I think honestly part of the reason why people are feeling burnout is because it feels like Gravy obviously was the standout hero of the new set, but like they bring in 2 other heroes and they haven't really made a ton of impact on like the CC metagame, which I think is I think it's like fine-ish. Like I think Puffin was probably like the second strongest one out of the 2, but like I feel like for the most part Puffin can't really like compete with like the stuff that the Gravy's doing and like the aggression that like Slippy has and stuff. So it feels like almost like they released an entire set and there's like one new hero in the game in like the functional roster is what it feels like. And I feel like that's also maybe like at the armory level, people play whatever they want, right? But you printed also Gravy Bones as an armory deck, and then everyone wants to play Gravy Bones at armory. So now you have like this further kind of like homogenization, I guess.
I think that makes sense.
The only like so with Gravy, it's weird because it's like he is the first of a new class, so you don't want the Arakni Huntsman situation where the hero gets released and it's like comically bad and no one plays the class. So like I understand the like let's debut Necromancer and have it be strong, but it does, I agree with you, feel like Marlin and Puffin both. I think Marlin's better than Puffin. I've never seen a Puffin deck. Well, I was going to say. I'm like, have I even seen anyone play the deck? I think I've played against a Puffin one time, so I can't say I've never seen a Puffin deck, but I've never seen that hero achieve any success, and I've seen at least your Marlin like does quite well. Like I know it's into Talishar randos a lot of the time, but like you've taken an armory and beaten people who I know are good. Right.
That's true.
Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, you didn't beat my Katsu because my Katsu's sick, but you know, like,
yeah.
That's a cool deck. Speaking of, do they have it? Oh man, the new Ira cards are so good for that deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it does feel like okay, cool. Now everyone's playing Gravy Bones.
It does sort of feel like there's a homogenization of heroes currently where all of the aggro decks are kind of the same in that they either have it or they don't, and when they do have it, it's insane, and when they don't have it, it's not very good at all. And then you go away from the aggro decks and you look at everything else, and it's like, okay, well, do any of these beat the best aggro decks? And do they beat the best of whatever isn't an aggro deck, which is Gravy Bones? And at the armory level, you can play whatever you want. On Talishar, you can play whatever you want. But once you get to Battle Hardened Calling Pro Tour Worlds, okay, so the best aggro deck is Slippy, the best not aggro deck is Gravy. If your deck can't beat both of these, don't play it. You are lighting your money on fire.
Yeah. That's why I'm playing Kano, because the only top deck he really loses to is like Prism.
Yeah, Kano gets to ignore both of those completely.
Yeah, and based on the cards printed in Mastery Pack Guardian at generic, I don't know if Prism is going to be doing great. The one that gets a popper.
You don't like a popper that puts a popper back on top?
That should be illegal when I'm playing Prism. Like, what is that? I hate that.
How did your games go? Did Slippy come out on top, or was it Kano?
Slippy did not come out on top.
Oh no!
Slippy did not come out on top. I got some insano Kano games.
Okay, so maybe Kano is pretty reasonable into Slippy.
I learned over the course. I don't think I was playing the games correctly at the start. At the end, I was playing much more correctly, and then Tegan just didn't draw Wildfire. But
yeah.
I think of the first 4 that we played and I lost, I think one of them was winnable, and then at least 2 of them were like, oh, it's Wildfire Floodgates, Wildfire for 7 Floodgates on turn 2. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't know what to do about that.
I had one that was so disgusting. So I sent Wildfire for 7, and I hit a Blazing, and I hit a Sonic. I knew I had a Sonic Boom, and you AB3 spell voided 3, and it came in for 1, and so I was able to from Arsenal Lesson for 4, and then Sonic Boom for 4. The Lesson got Blazing, and then I was able to Blazing, and it killed. And I was just like, I love this deck.
Yeah, it was super fun.
So cool.
I had a lot of fun.
I had a great.
Yeah, so I feel like most competitive viable decks, like you have to be like this tall enough to ride the ride for like Slippy and Gravy, basically. Like if you don't have a Slippy Gravy plan, you basically are burning money.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I actually don't mind metas like this where it's like there's clearly like a standout best 1 or 2 decks, because I feel like then people, like, you can bring like a counter deck and then people won't be expecting to play against you, which is kind of cool. So I don't know if I necessarily mind that all that much, but I think how good Gravy and Slippy are, I don't know. It feels like the power level is definitely like a step above the rest of the field.
I don't think it's as bad as Enigma Aurora, which is a comment that I got on Blue Sky when I made the assertion that we're just in the same meta, but with Gravy and Slippy. And I think that's
I don't
true.
think it's nearly as bad in terms of like how pushed those 2 decks were.
No, but I think the point still stands. What Aurora said is true. It's like your deck needs to have a plan into both of these decks. You can't, and it can't just be a plan into one of them. You can't bring something that beats Marionette and then just falls over to Gravy, which is what we saw in Singapore when we have all these Victor players show up and have very good records until they run against Gravy, and then they're just 0%. Like,
that's why you should play Jarl.
I don't think the Yarrow matchup's all that bad. I mean, like, I'm not playing against like the best Gravies in the world or anything, but I think it's playable and you can high roll, which is at least nice. Like, I don't think it's quite as bad, although with the Fearless Confrontation, I think it's gotten significantly worse. Like, that card is insane. That card's insane.
That's a real flesh and blood card that they really printed.
Yeah.
Because what we needed is a way to make it so Herald of Erudition doesn't hit.
Yeah.
I think they should.
That card's wild, but I honestly imagine that they're gonna have to like functionally errata that or like do something with it, because like I feel like it's gonna create a lot. Like, even if it's not good, it's gonna create a lot of feel bad moments where it's like I spent my entire turn trying to kill an ally and then I time walked myself and then lost. It's like, okay, I did that off of 1 card. That's terrible. I don't know, but yeah, D-Reacts for allies probably shouldn't exist.
Or they should, but they should be for Prism. Like, just for Prism, so that I can protect my angels. I think that would be good. And then Gravy can deal with his zomboys the old-fashioned way. But yeah, like, I do agree with you. It's kind of insane how pushed back it is.
I feel like allies are meant to be a temporary thing, though. Like, having there be like a defend your ally thing is like, I don't know, just very like there's no way to like make an ally that's like actually fair that does that, because it's like how action points work, right? Like for action point constrained decks, they'll just like basically always lose to that.
Yeah.
I think Sawbones is actually a really fair way to have done it.
I actually think Sawbones is fine. Yeah, because like Sawbones, like the health on it is already like pretty low, and like it relies on you like setting up this huge like combo, or like maybe you're playing out like 2 Sawbones or something, or like maybe you have to like ignore it for a turn. Like I think like Sawbones being like a must kill ally on site is like kind of fine, and I feel like the like just one prevention is actually like pretty fair. It feels like, but yeah, I don't know.
I think that's a very fair card, especially because if you're targeting it, the prevention ends up not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think like I think that's like a better way to have designed the card than I don't remember what Fearless Confrontation.
So like the good thing about Sawbones is also it's like face up, right? Like you don't have to like play around the hypothetical of them drawing into like Fearless Confrontation. It's like you either have Sawbones on the board or you don't, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that the Sawbones is fine. When they have 2 Sawbones, that's a problem. But, like you said, they have to actually set it up. There's some forethought that goes into it. And you, as the player who's attacking the Sawbones, knows that there's a second one. So you'll plan around it. Yeah, the Fearless Confrontation is a problem because you cannot anticipate it. So you're either sending exact damage and hoping they don't have it, or you're sending overkill. And that's like blocking Katsu's head jab for 4 because you need them to not use breaking scales. And how much value did you waste over the course of the game giving extra value to whatever you're doing? So Fearless Confrontation
Simply
does that.
send Mangle.
You also, against Gravy just, he presents this variance too. Chum is the big one with like, that's a big do they have it question, because you could have an insane turn, but you have to start with a non-attack action or a weapon or something. And it's like, if they don't have the ally or the Watery Grave, this turn is insane. And if they do have it, this turn does nothing.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I played the deck a little bit at Armory, but I don't know if I'm going to continue to be a Gravy Bones player, which kind of sucks because I have all the cards. But like, yeah, it did feel like there was some games where it's like, oh, cool. This came down to I didn't see the cards I needed to see.
I think Gravy is also gated by skill level because he's a very high skill cap hero. And his skill floor is like abysmal. Like if you are a bad Gravy, if you burn through all your gold too quickly, or you don't properly set up to anticipate drawing 3 allies in a 2 block in the same hand, then you'll just fall over and die. And that's why when you look at, I've been building Slippy for Kansas City, so I'm really paying attention to stats. PT Day 1, Slippy is 70% win rate into Gravy. PT Day 2, Slippy is 30% win rate into Gravy. And it's because Day 1, Slippy is a very straightforward aggro deck that can prey on bad Gravies. But in Day 2, when the Gravies are all really good, Slippy is a straightforward aggro deck that just can't deal with certain play patterns.
Yeah.
My big thing
That's really interesting. I didn't realize that.
Let me...
that makes sense to me.
Are you using FaB blazing data at all?
No. What is this?
This is, let me send you the link. So this is a new resource. They have a Patreon, they have a Blue Sky. It only came, I think it started really generating data for US Nats, so it's very recent. But
I've seen this around. It's pretty cool.
So I went into tools, matchup analysis. And so this is pulling from Talishar and I think all paper events. So, hit or miss as far as matchup analysis goes. But the big one that I'm pulling that information from is going to tournament, analyze Pro Tour Singapore, and then you can just sort by like matchup matrix. So it's very interesting stuff. Once you get into matchup analysis and tools, you start to see win percent and percent increase, decrease for certain cards, which is why I'm not playing Savor Bloodshed as Slippy, because against Gravy, it's so bad. And against everyone else, it's like reasonable. A very cool website.
Oh, this is interesting.
But yeah, it's really cool for like against the average gravy. Yeah, the average gravy sucks, but against the best gravies are like 90% win rates.
Yeah,
That's fascinating. I'm looking at the Kano stats right now, and it's like it's apparently going first into. Apparently, I have a bad matchup into Slippy, but not like a terrible one. And then going first, I do better than going second.
Which makes sense because you just get filtering and set up potions whenever, right?
Right. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but
we were talking about it after our games.
Marionette is mostly horrible. Interesting.
I feel like Marionette runs more blues, right? So
yeah.
Is that the reason? Yeah, that's probably the reason.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I feel like with Kano, I have agency into every deck that is not named Prism. Like it's just that one.
It's wild how much Prism's dropped off. I feel like I've not seen Prism do much lately.
Prism is such a well-designed board state hero, or at least second Prism is. First Prism was also an abomination, but second Prism is such a well-designed board state hero because she doesn't have 40 fucking health.
Yeah,
I don't know why they keep doing this. They did it with Enigma, and that didn't work, and now they just did it again with Gravy. And it's like, if the hero puts health on the board, and the health can attack, and I have to kill the health, don't give the hero 40 health.
I think Enigma was the most egregious one. Do you remember when they're like, I think we've done it, we've made our most like fair and balanced illusionist?
Yeah, I don't know what they were talking about.
And it's just like,
it's so
like
insane.
Cool. Like, it's a deck that is like invalidated Guardian during the entire tenure of the class.
It's a deck that invalidates...
During your entire time.
Invalidates any hero that can't reasonably do 12 points of damage on demand. Sorry, 13 points of damage on demand.
The problem also with the problem also with Enigma was that they pretty quick dodge and shelter at the end, and then that just giving her like 9 reacts plus like a better foot slot just made that deck so insane.
Yeah.
Like she was fine, or I mean she was like pretty good to fine like before that, but like that basically pushed her into like S tier just because like they printed a bunch of generics for her.
I hate generics. I gotta be honest, I don't like generics.
This is also a problem I have with the game right now is that we have a defensive class. It's called Guardian, right? And Guardian is a class that's largely composed of like generics for the most part right now because like all the generics, like all the good defense reactions are not in the Guardian class. They're just siloed to generics, so you just run all those instead. Like I wish there was like I think they're trying to do it with like solid ground. Is it like the new card that like the seismic surge D-react? Like that card's cool. I think they should try like I almost wish that like the generic D-reacts like didn't exist in like the generic, and they were more interesting D-reacts like per class is one of like thing that I think also kind of contributes to like homogenization. Like everyone's just running like Sync and Shelter at this point, right? I wish like different classes had a different way to defend stuff, I guess.
They should ban all of the generic D-reacts.
I unironically agree with you.
Yeah, like Marionette or like Assassin has like the trap cards, which are really cool, but they don't see play because like the D-reacts are better. A lot of classes run, even if they're running like even if they have like Rootbound or stuff, right? They're also running like the generic D-reacts because like you just run Rootbound on top of like a bunch of other defensive cards, right? Like with Verdance or whatever. Like I think the game gets more interesting once you see more class cards being played and constructed. But like if you see a bunch of homogenization between like all these generics that are played across all these different decks, then it's like I don't know, it gets a lot less interesting, I think.
I think Assassin definitely needs to be adjusted if they were going to ban defense reactions. I also don't think they will because Shelter got printed. But prior to Shelter, I absolutely thought that at least Sync should have been banned, if not Fate as well. Just because coming from an Aurora perspective, which again, Busted Hero should not have existed in the form that she did. But Aurora is having to jump through hoops to get these 0 for 4s. So Lightning Surge has to be played from Arsenal. Ravenous Rabble, I have to be playing majority reds in my deck. Scar for a Scar, I have to carefully manage my life total to get my 1 card 4 that makes an action point. On the flip side, Sink Below is just 4 with upside. Fate is just 4 with upside that doesn't even use an action point. And I always thought that didn't make sense.
Well, also, like, the best thing about reacts is that even if you don't use them on the turn, you can just arsenal them. Like, with block cards, they actually kind of fix that problem, where it's like, you get a 0 for 4, but you cannot, like, save it for next turn. You have to, like, either, like, IP with it or, like, use it. Like, block cards are, like, the more fair version of, like, D-Reacts. But, like, D-Reacts, you also get to, like, save them in between turns, which makes them kind of busted if you don't use them right away.
And it felt like LSS was taking us to this place where it was either going to be block cards or class 0 for 4 defense reactions or generic 0 for 3 defense reactions. Like, we were getting here, they were learning, and then they printed Shelter. And I'm like, what do you know? Now we can't ban Sink or Fate because you can't say, hey, new players, you were really excited about this $2 option. Well, it's illegal. Here's a $90 option. Like, that's okay, cool. So we just have 9 generic D-Reacts in the game. And it was one
I think what we've discovered is that Hunted as a set was a mistake and like was bad.
Like
some of the Hunted.
A lot of the Hunted is rough.
It's so bad. Enigma exacerbated it, because I get how we can have 0 for 4 defense reactions in Arcane Rising. A hero can't just block, or else you get fatigued. You have to be doing something besides blocking. And then Enigma comes out and says, oh, I did do something besides blocking. I made this dragon. And so now I've blocked 12 with 3 cards, and now here's 8.
Also the dragon blocks.
Also the dragon blocks 4. I'm enjoying Flesh and Blood, but I also understand that I'm playing one of the best decks, and that I, as a player, don't have a problem switching decks when my deck becomes bad. But I also feel like I still notice what other people are saying, and I agree with it. And as soon as it starts to affect me, it's going to be something that I have a problem rectifying.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know if, like, even if today they said they were going to ban, like, generic D-Reacts, I don't think the game would actually get better, because, like, they haven't printed the infrastructure. Like, they need other cards to exist in the game before they do that to make it more interesting. Because if no one has, like, D-Reacts at this point, then you just get run over by, like, Syndra Assassin, basically.
Yeah. I think they just need
That's how it felt about Tomes. Is like, I understand why they did it. I feel like the infrastructure was not in place, and it was like this emergency thing, and so then a bunch of decks just became like awful, like immediately just like terrible, because they all of a sudden lacked access to this thing. And like, I know like Acilio, for instance, was a hero that I was like, oh, I'd like to try this, and the Tomes got banned, and it felt like the deck just like I think Peter Bedensic said, like, I could just feel where the Tomes were supposed to be with this hero.
Yeah.
And it's
sorry,
go for it.
I said the unfortunate thing about, like, the Tome ban was that, like, they removed one of the coolest, like, skill elements of the deck, which was like stacking tomes for, like, game, or like hitting your pitch stack. Which, like, I think you can you stack now with, like, the new ambulance? I think you can, right? But, like, for a time there was
not really, but
you can kind of sort of set it up, but, like, the problem with, like, banning all that is that, like, you remove the high roll potential of, like, hitting a tome off the top, but you also, like, removes, like, one of the coolest, like, skill elements of that deck, which was setting up the pitch stack. I don't know. Like, it would have been cool if there was, like, a card that's, like, some way to, like, set it up, like, where it's like a replacement tome where you throw in, but, like, you can only do it during your second cycle. Like, I don't even know how you would.
My idea, I had an idea for it, which is it's like, I would call it Tome of Foresight, and it's like a red 2-block, like Tome of Throw in, and it says name a card and then reveal the top card of your deck. If it is the revealed card, draw 2. Otherwise, like mill 1 or 2 or something like that. So it's like you're not incentivized really cool. To just like read it. Like, but if you do know the exact thing, like then you're first off, it's really cool because you're just like, hey, check it out, and then you're also able to do like a stack thing, and then they'd have to print some sort of way for the deck to gain life if they wanted to really do stacking again, just because like Tome of Fyendal is a really key part of just like first deck momentum in terms of just drawing the cards, but also like not dying, because like you would leak damage just because of how FaB works. But like that was my idea, was like this thing where it's like you need to know what's on top of your deck, and if you do, you get rewarded for drawing 2, which is better to me and more interesting than if you surge, then you draw 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like with Tome of Fyendal, like, did the life gain actually, like, it did matter sometimes if you just like high rolled it, but like for the most part, for like if you're stacking, you're not like relying on like Tome of Fyendal to like gain you life, right? You're like probably more so relying on like D-Reacts at that point.
Well, so what you would do is like D-Reacts for sure, but like what you would do is like park a Tome of Fyendal and Arsenal, and then you can block like 12, and then tunic counter, draw 2, gain 2, pitch whatever it is that you got, like if you needed. So it was a thing for going through your deck faster, in addition to like just blocking out and drawing, and also like it would add your life total, because like 30 is like, if Kano started at like 35 or 36, I think you could stack like any deck in the game when tomes were legal, but 30 is still like you need access to just like some life gain, because your opponent will probably have a big turn, and the big turn will probably like leak some damage, and you don't want to be too low so that you can hit stack. But so yeah, like it was a really key part of that puzzle. Like it was one where it's like you don't really want to stack Tome of Fyendal into the stack as much as you would want Tome of Aetherwind. But yeah, like a lot of games that I played where I was stacking came down to like, well, Tome of Fyendal gave me life here, and because of that, I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I miss playing that version of the deck. But okay, so question, I guess, is if you're given a task by LSS, you have to ban 3 cards to try and make the game better. Like, what do you ban, if anything?
I think Bonds of Arakni.
That's a good question.
For sure.
Bonds is a strong contender. I think it's either Bonds or like Justin, like one of the two. I don't think you need it's probably Bonds, honestly.
I think if you ban Bonds, Justinic also falls off, because you wouldn't play Justinic for double trouble prognosis.
Yeah, like Persuasive, I guess, would be like still the thing, but you'd have a lot less consistency with it, and probably if you're running Justinic, then you have to run like other bad blue like 1 costs. So I think that like Bonds probably does make sense as a ban. It also makes like the rate on Justinic more fair, because like you're not getting a 0 for 5 anymore. You're getting like a 0 for 3 if you're playing it on like a smaller attack, which I think is probably how they meant for like the wild part of me about like Justinic to me is like that they stack, right? Is like
it's so get, like, it's absurd.
Like I know they intended that card to be like a 0 for 6. Like it's kind of like the same stat line as like Azuri, right? Where you play like a 1 cost like stealth and then you swap it for a 6. Like that to me is fair. But like when you like double up on them, then it gets like kind of insane. It's like, how was I supposed to block this?
Yeah, exactly. I mean? Like wow, it was okay. So it was always going to be at least 14. Cool.
Yeah.
So Bonds makes sense to me, which basically neuters the assassin class. And if you neuter the assassin class, I think then you can ban Sink Below.
That seems kind of reasonable.
Which I do like. Not that there are any heroes currently that are playing all 9, but I like limiting that in the future, and I also like taking away the best one.
That makes sense.
What would my 3rd card be? That's interesting.
Is Tipple in consideration? I feel like Tipple might be in consideration.
I don't want to just kill gravy is the problem. If I'm trying to fix the game.
Well, you can also do like a restricted where it's like red tipple's fine. I think that maybe makes sense. Or like blue tipple, or like you.
Yeah, blue tipple gets kicked because so it's a gold generator and not a ally enabler.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think you probably do have to like disincentivize people running 6 to 9. Like it's like the bonds thing, right? Where it's like you don't want to incentivize people to run 9 bonds. You want to like you get 3 copies and that's fine. I don't know.
I could see restricting it to just being the red tipples. They get to keep the 3 power. They don't have yellow tipple, which could discard to itself, and they definitely don't have blue tipple, which is an ally enabler.
I think, like, I don't think people mention this enough, but I feel like if a deck is running 9 of something, that's kind of a red flag.
A little bit.
No, that makes sense.
Especially if it's like just a random common or like a rare or something. Like, I guess in that case, like, there's no like Rainbow Majestics, but like, yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, 9 is always a red flag. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like 9 floodgates is like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like if the effect is like that good.
There was that Verdant's list at one point that was running like 8 rootbound carapaces. I feel like that was almost bordering on a red flag too. It was like the Arthur Trehalis or something. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would ban. I would probably. So I'm like. I actually would go the opposite direction with the bonds, and I would just get rid of Justinek.
Mm-hmm.
I think that having access to bonds is fine because I think that people should have access. Decks should have access to strong cards. I think that Justinek is kind of what really makes that card like miserable because no matter what, you just cannot. Like if Justinek is part of the equation, there's no correct way to cover that at a snag. So I would probably cut that. I would also say that Command and Conquer has been in the game too long at this point.
They just reprinted it though, and Hunted. It wasn't Hunted.
It was Hunted.
It was. All right, we should unprint all of the Hunted.
That's my band.
Anyway, that's my band.
They also reprinted Codex and High Seas, right? All
Codex
cards.
is fine. I'm fine with Codex. Actually.
Yeah, Codex I've weirdly come around on from hating it into no. There's actually if I don't have Leave No Witnesses or Command and Conquer in my graveyard, this sucks so bad.
I think it's so like Codex is it's a super powerful card, but like there are some restrictions on how you use that card. Like you can't just use it with like a full hand, or you shouldn't use it with full. You can, but CNC is like a card where it's just like, well, we're gonna put it in the deck because it's good, and you can't de-react it. And also, it destroys the arsenal, so it's really good. And it comes in for 6, and it blocks 3. So it's just like this card that it's like the generic problem. Also, I just kind of want Ira players to suffer because I hate that deck. I don't like that it's a pile of generics. But yeah, I would probably do Justinek and Command and Conquer. Then probably like Stink Blow and just leave Fate Foreseen and Shelter. The irrational ban that I would do, like if it's like, okay, well, I wanted to hit legendaries, is I'd get rid of Flick Knives from the game. Mm-hmm. And even though it's not bothering anyone currently, I'd get rid of Diac as well. But like, I get rid of Flick Knives for the reasons I talked about, where it's just like, if we want to do this, all the dagger stuff in Hunted, then Flick Knives is kind of just too much. It's like they designed a set around Flick Knives, and I think that they shouldn't have done that.
I have a spicy gravy ban.
Go for it.
All right, Mage Master Boots.
Ooh,
that's kind of cool.
That is good.
I think like Mage Master Boots was like a wasn't like there. I mean, like Enigma did like the 10K thing with it, and like kind of abused it that way. Like I feel like the decks that have used Major Master Boots very well have like kind of abused the crap out of it, and like I feel
Dromai did it with Dust from the Cavern.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like Mage Master Boots is a source of a lot of gravies, like you get like the gravy turn right with Mage Master where you like play out 2 allies and then you, like swing with both of them, and then like I feel like that contributes to his numbers a lot, and it's also like just a random common that no one would get super butthurt by if they banned it. So like I don't know.
Yeah, they'd probably end up just playing Flexors,
which is fine. Like you can Flexors doesn't really help you like protect your allies. It just protects your life total. So I think overall, I like that a little bit better. But
I think realistically, like there should just be a cull on generics. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it comes up in the future of just like they sit down, say like, okay, like we have a lot of generics, like the existence of decks like Ira, where it's just a pile of generics, is kind of like not amazing. Like I don't think that's great for the game. If there's a hero where it's in a class, right, and like the armory deck is like for that class and for her signature weapon, and Katsu gets all the benefit from it, and then Ira players are still playing Kodachi CNC. Like I think that there should be something done to combat like the generic fatigue, I guess, that because like every set will have a new generic where it's like, oh cool, now there's this thing. I think they should realistically go through and maybe just like get rid of some of the ones that have been in the game for a long time, especially like Command and Conquer or Sink Below. Like I think you could even like look at it as like a rotation, like in Magic, where it's like, okay, well, Sink Below is no longer part of the game, so we got Shelter and Fate for Scene, and we have to make do with that for now. Or like Command and Conquer is no longer in the game, but we do still have Weakest Link, and stuff like that for a bit, and just like kind of almost rotate out a bunch of generics that like exist in the game to kind of just like glue decks together. It would also be positive for like newer players, I think. If it's like, well, I don't have to get CNCs. It wouldn't. Some of them would still be like crazy expensive, but I do think that like I'm at the point with generics where it's just like I think they should print fewer.
No,
I think the problem
see that.
Yeah, I think like the problem from like their perspective is like they want to give classes support, but they don't have enough printer room space to print all the support that like each individual class needs. It feels like they play it safe by like, well, here's a new like defensive tool for all the decks that want to be a little bit defensive. So all these decks get like a little bit of a love, right? And then like if you print like a single card, like I don't know, like Everbloom Life or something, like that only applies to like Earth heroes or whatever, and like it doesn't apply to all these like other heroes. And then you also like always have to devote like 4 slots to any expansion slot for like just like random AB pieces for Teklavas. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like the expansion slot is how they have to balance a lot of this, and it feels like they don't have enough room a lot of the time, or maybe there's like a delay in the amount of like they see a problem and then they have like a couple months to react to it, and then that's when the expansion cards like show up and stuff. So
I have an idea for how they could do more expansion stuff. So what they do is they take all the expansion slot cards and then they make a set with those in it, and then there's a bunch of other new cards in the set as well, and they're all new cards, but it's not a draftable set. And like they'd have fewer cards in the packs, and it'd be like Dynasty.
That's really so you're saying like instead of this new set of cards supplanting any existing cards, it'd be more of like it'd be supplementing the existing like pool of cards.
Supplemental type of, I don't know what we could call these.
No, that's
but like bonus sets or something.
So I like this idea, but I'm really a lot more interested in drafting the All Guardian Brute set. So I think that's really going to help out. Yeah. Because Guardian and Brute are two classes that are both historically very good into illusionist and board state type heroes.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. The supplemental thing, I really wish that... I wonder what their sales data is on supplemental stuff. Because I definitely bought a lot of Dynasty.
I would like to see that. Just based on having played at the time and remembering how unpopular it all was, I'm really curious why they decided to do another Bright Lights. Like, okay, it isn't draftable, so we don't have to worry about, like, I got to go to my PT and be in a Teklevossen pod or whatever. But, why did they look at Bright Lights and Dynasty and say, let's do Bright Lights again?
I have a good answer.
Go for it.
So I think the reason the sales data for Dynasty was bad is not because of it being a supplemental set, because all the cards were bad. Like the Crouching Tiger stuff was bad. The shield synergy stuff, that was all bad. What else was even in there?
That's
There's
fair.
Some warrior stuff. Like most of the cards they printed in Dynasty were like bad and below rate.
Now, what about Swell Tidings? Wizard All-Star Swell Tidings.
All right, can I just go on a brief Wizard tangent to complain?
Please.
I hate Ponder tokens. I hate that Wizard keeps getting things that give Ponder tokens. Wizard's cards are universally terrible, unless you're like playing a talented Wizard. So you don't actively want to like arsenal any of that shit.
Yeah.
So like Aether Arc. So like I've seen people play like 3 Aether Arc over 2 Destructive Aether Tide and Kano list, and like those people I think are like smoking gas or something, because it's like, well, at least Destructive Aether Tide, the Surge, like does require a card if they want to keep their arsenal. But like Aether Arc, you're going to get a Ponder and then draw Prognosticate and go, that's cool, and then not like, okay. Like, I think that Wizards should have, like, a token that's for the class and not just something it shares with Assassin and also Ranger, and also I think there's generic cards that make Ponder tokens, too.
Premeditate.
Like, Swell Tidings, like, I have it in the sideboard on Talshar, but because I couldn't find them in real life for my Kano deck, like, I just am using my signed Voltic Bolts because it's the same card.
Yeah.
I really don't like Ponder, and like Mental Block is a card where I guess Verdances are using it to like great effect, but I remember like seeing Haunting Rendition and in seeing Mental Block, it felt like looking at a Virgin versus Chad meme of like, look at these 2 block cards, clearly one is better, and I was just like, oh come on, this is so disappointing. In a set with Wizard, like, why are we doing this? Like, I was so disappointed. But yeah, I looping back to the supplemental thing and like Bright Lights and stuff like that. I didn't hate Bright Lights. I think the idea of a single class set's fine. I just think like it shouldn't be a main set. And then like Mastery Pack Guardian, I was like, oh boy, this will be really interesting. Like it'll be a bunch of new cards for Guardian. It'll be a shot in the arm, and there'll be like a crack shuffle play component, which will be neat. Like it's not for me, but whatever. And yeah, this will be good. But like, there's so many reprints of like just like cards that Guardian has had since WTR that they already don't play.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this the way this set is? Like, I hope that the next Mastery Pack, because I know they have another one, I hope the next one is new stuff and not reprints of normal stuff or just stuff we already have that isn't very good for the purposes of crack shuffle play, which I was actually surprised when I put the thing out on Blue Sky about like, oh, have you tried crack shuffle play? Do you like it? It seemed like a lot of people do like it or they are interested in it, but like, I also think for the sake of crack shuffle play, interested people, like, give them new cards. Just give them new cards. Like, let them be excited for new stuff. Like, I don't know. I think Mastery Pack Guardian, like, I think that the idea is solid, but I don't think they necessarily hit the mark here with how it works or how it should work.
I feel like the marketing for Mastery Pack Guardian was kind of maybe not deceptive, but like I feel like a lot of people had an impression of what Mastery Pack Guardian would be, and they thought it would be like kind of like a master set in like Magic, right? Where you get like a bunch of, or like Modern Horizons or like whatever, where you get a bunch of like these new support cards that are for every, like I was expecting like Jarl support, maybe a little Bravo support, like maybe some Betsy, so like I think that's what people were expecting, and I think that that's not what the product is. It's basically like you get a lot of support for Valda, and you get like a little bit of like niche Victor support, and then like primarily the like it's not really meant to be like a shot in the arm kind of product. It's really meant to be a crack shuffle play product. Like they had to basically make every card in the product like playable in crack shuffle play. So like if there's like a random like Ice Guardian card, you can't play that, right? So like it felt like it's really like I feel like the crack shuffle play component like actually probably detracted from a lot of like what people were expecting out of it, because you just need to have it everything in that pack be playable basically.
I like you said, I thought it was going to be Guardian Horizons like in Magic, where it's like, oh boy, like I wonder what they're going to do with it. But yeah, like it being crack shuffle play kind of was like, maybe it's not going to be like that.
Yeah,
I think you could still do that with crack shuffle play. It would just be like a really kind of crazy crack shuffle play environment.
Yeah, or like you have like an expansion slot or something, but like then you can't crack, like it gets awkward, right? Because like the crack shuffle play, if you have expansion slots in it that you like or like tokens you have to like take out, right? Then like maybe like a new player is like picking up the product who wants to like play with their friend, maybe they don't know that you're not supposed to play with it, or like I don't know, it gets like a little bit.
I don't think there should be expansion slots in the mastery packs. Like
no,
like I definitely don't think that. But yeah, I was kind of hoping it would be more like the intent of Modern Horizons and not like the execution of Modern Horizons, which kind of destroyed a lot of formats in Magic and has had like irreparable repercussions on the game. But like, you know, like something like that, but for Guardian, where it's like, hey, like it's been a while and there's a bunch of cards that we just don't really have a place for in a set where limited is a key focus. But here you go. Like, yeah. Like it's interesting. Like, so like Dynasty, like the cards were bad, but there were definitely cards that were interesting. That like you would never see in a draftable product.
Yeah, I liked the intention of Dynasty.
Yeah, Everfest had that too, right? Like Everfest had a lot of wizard cards that cared about playing on your opponent's turn. But there's not like an easy way to do that at common in the set. So it's like that can't be that cannot be like a draft mechanic, right? Like, which is why like Surge came back for Wizard and Rosetta. Like, I think it's an awful constructed mechanic, but like in Limited, where you don't have access to AB and you just have this macro, like I think Surge is actually really fun in that format. But like then you get to the construct side of things, and it's so disappointing because it's just like it's these bad cards from Dynasty again, but in this like construct thing for this class. And like I was hoping it would be more like, especially with Mastery Pack Guardian, it's like, yeah, there's no way we can put this in a draftable set, so here it is here, and it'll be cool for constructed. But yeah, I think like crack shuffle play kind of is like, which I think is fine. I think that should be a way to play the game. But like maybe they should have considered powering up that format a bit more.
It's like what they need to do is just release a set of 50 cards and have I don't know how many classes there are in the game. Let's say there's 10. Just give every class 5 new cards, and you know, all of them are full play sets. There's not necessarily legendaries unless they think that's a good idea, but like give it I was listening to the Runaways podcast. Noah Begelman made a really good point about Mastery Pack, which is the name is misleading because nothing about Crush or Clash indicates any mastery of the set, mastery of the class. So like do a set of 50 cards. Every class gets 5 new cards, but they're all mechanically unique. They're actually good. They will be impactful. Maybe not necessarily for every hero within that class, like you could have a Clash card that Victor would use really well and a Seismic Surge card that Valda would use really well that the other, vice versa might not work. But something that actually makes a fundamental difference in how you can build that class and how it plays and adds, if not power, something that was missing before. But they can't do that because you wouldn't be able to draft it. You wouldn't be able to crack shuffle play. It would just be like, basically give us X number of dollars and receive 150 cards. But to me, that's what the supplemental set should be. Like, don't give us weird, dumb cards balanced for a limited format that doesn't exist. Give us good shit that we want to play.
Here's an idea. All right. So this might be a horrible idea because I'm like thinking about it while I'm saying it. But what if there was a Modern Horizon style set, right, where every class and talent has like new cards in it, and there's still a limited environment, but the hero is Shiana. It's just It's a shapeshifter format.
Okay. Maybe go back to the drawing board on that one.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me cook some more. You get like that, and it's just like it's a bunch of stuff for constructed, and in the format's like really fucking weird because it's like who knows, it could be anything, and it's supplemental, so it's not like the tentpole like yes, we're doing Pro Tour. I don't know what's the city. Pro Tour Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and there's a huge part of Pro Tour that is shapeshifter draft. Like that, maybe don't have that, but like I think that I don't know, that would be an interesting idea. Like, dude, it would solve the problem of don't get enough support between sets.
Yeah.
Like if you're like I only play Ranger, that's what I like to play. I love Ranger. Then going from Outsiders and then just like chilling out until high seas is rough, right? So like you gotta do something. Like you can't just say, well, we're gonna do these classes in this set. Like I think that without supplemental sets, it's a lot harder to get enough cards for classes that people play that aren't being seen in like main premier sets. Which is, it's weird. It's not a problem that Magic has, right? They don't release a set where it's like red's not in this.
Yeah.
So all you red players just you don't get any red cards. It's like, I mean, they release sets that red's not good, but like there's always going to be new cards for the color. But then FaB, it's weird because it's like, well, this set doesn't have these classes in it. So like if that's the hero that you like to play in CC, you just got to keep waiting. And I've seen people say things like, well, I'll sit this one out. Yeah. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to be sitting out a set because none of the cards are for the decks you play. Like, and I think that if they're going to do that, there needs to be something more than just the expansion slot to fill this like void. Because like, I think that burns people out. It's just like, well, I haven't seen a card for my hero in months. Like I'm still playing this deck. Yeah. Still playing Tech with Austin, and he still doesn't work. Maybe that's a bad example. Like if you're still playing Tech with Austin, then that's really on you. But like the Ranger thing, right? It's like, well, if you haven't seen a Ranger card in forever and your name's not Riptide, then yeah, it's kind of rough.
Yeah. Well, I think we did some good work today. Really solved a lot of problems.
Yeah, we solved a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So if Alice listens to this, please print Dusk Till Dawn 2 because I liked it, and then ban Flicknut.
I still like FaB, by the way. Like
I love FaB.
I don't know. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, like even if Gravy is like the best deck, I kind of like just going to Armory and just beating all the Gravies there. So it's nice. I don't know.
I played FaB with you. I played FaB at Armory, and I played FaB with you today, and I have had fun playing FaB every time I played this week. I had a great time. I still think the game is so much fun.
I think the game is great. I think it is It is not where I want it to be right now, but even where it is, I enjoy it. Like, I had a buddy who always says the same thing, which is on its worst day, FaB is still the best TCG.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't even think this is the worst day. It's like, maybe like a below average day. It's like, I don't know.
Because the worst day was the day the tomes were banned. That was the worst day.
No, that's when we came back. That's when we came back big.
I cried. I cried in the
Tegan is a tome apologist.
It's fine. Just unban Toma Aetherwind just for like a little bit. And then,
Tegan doesn't apologize for Tome. Tegan just doesn't care.
I promise I will use the buff mode more.
I actually like the post-tome world for all its problems. I think it's probably for the best.
I like the post-tome world because that's when we got Aurora. The game got worse when Aurora LO.
I don't know. I don't agree with you at all about that.
That's fine.
I think that's like that's the thing that like Aurora players say a lot, but then like they say it to other people who don't play the deck, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, we'll just let them think that." And everyone's entitled to their opinion, I guess.
Even if it's wrong, I know.
Even if it's wrong. But yeah, I still think the game's great.
No, I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
A lot of fun, and I still love that, like the focus on like competitive, organized play that the game has. Like I think that's awesome, and love going out to tournaments. Don't like how early they start, but like,
yeah.
Oh well.
I don't like how early they start, and I don't like how close to the actual event date we end up getting details about where it is. Because flights are expensive and I would like to book them sooner. Also, I don't like that LSS has such a weird track record of picking strange places and dates to hold events.
I also don't like being on an airplane all that much. And like some of the cities are places where it's like, oh my God, I do not want to go. Like, I do not want to go back to Vegas if I don't have to.
No.
Like, hopefully Nationals is in like Aspen or something.
Where is Aspen? Like California?
No, Aspen's here in Colorado. It's in the mountains.
Oh, really?
It's a ski town.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's your location.
Well, I mean, it's nice.
Well, just go to Calling Seattle in December. You're going to get snow.
That we probably will go to.
I'll probably also go to that because it's on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's like that. That's like we don't have to fly. We can just get in the car with some friends and take a Seattle trip and like get back to the Cats sooner rather than like like that. I don't think is like prohibitive, but like Kansas City is like
no, it's just
I don't want to get on a plane.
It's the weather. They keep just saying like we're gonna do Pacific Northwest events in December, and we're gonna do events in the middle of November in the U.S. And it's like, do you not know the weather in our regions or when our holidays are? Like, I guarantee you at some point they're going to do an event on, like, December 23rd. And it's like, so you just don't pay attention.
I think that, first off, I think the Pacific Northwest is lovely in December. It's lovely all year. But yeah, I think snow. Maybe they got the season reversed.
They got the Southern Hemisphere thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. No,
but anyway.
FaB is fun. I enjoy it. I wish it was better, but it's still very good.
Yeah.
We'll have to do this again at some point.
Another yapping session.
Yeah.
Next time, you should play into Aurora's stuff instead of my Kano.
Well, no, that'll lend itself very well to a long discussion because just the nature of the decks that Aurora plays. They are long games.
I hope that those games were actually like helpful.
They were helpful.
Cool.
No, I enjoyed that. I don't know how I'm going to post this video because it's 3 hours and I could just put it on YouTube. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't care.
We
I don't care
played
what
some
you
I
think.
don't care. Yeah.
played some Kano, and then had a 2.5 hour discussion
podcast.
about FaB.
Podcast.